I have 1,128 Steam games and I haven't played hundreds of them. 3 rules: wheel decides the game, 1 hour of gameplay, honest rating. Aragami too. Okay. I played the original Aragami almost 10 years ago now, and that was a fantastic stealth game with a lot of unique qualities. So I went into the sequel with high hopes, sadly to say, but Aragami 2 is very disappointing compared to its predecessor. I mean, to start with the obvious, look at how much better the first looks with the cel-shaded style compared to the shitty, bland, generic look of the sequel. The gameplay is fast and responsive, but it just feels lazy. Blatantly taking the Arkham Sekiro ledge hang teleport mechanic, it again just loses its own unique selling point of the blinking and dashing, and instead just tries to make it feel like every other game in the genre. In the first game, once you were seen, you were pretty much guaranteed to die. In the second game, however, you get infinite chances with the enemies forgetting you ever existed after about 5 seconds of running away. You don't get that feeling of satisfaction from sneaking when you're dealing with blind guards with Alzheimer's. Another change that feels cheap in an attempt to appeal to a larger audience while losing itself is the introduction of one-on-one combat. It is about as bare bones as you can get, with a basic attack, block and parry, with the same mechanic as Sekiro, being that once the bar is depleted you get an execution animation. Look it, the game's not bad, it's just not good. They've left so much on the table, it genuinely feels like whoever made the first game had nothing to do with the second, and it was instead a bunch of people who heard the first game's concept and gave it a go themselves. The best way I have to describe this game is it feels like a very early beta build, where things are being tested and given a foundation, and then some fucker a couple of years later uploaded the beta build to Steam instead of the finished product. I don't have much else to say, so let's get into the ratings for Aragami 2. As always, starting with gameplay. Definitely its strongest category, although dumbed down and much easier than the first, it is still smooth and has nice animations. So 6 out of 10 for gameplay. Then we have art style. It could have been easy, and it could have been a high score if they just stuck with the original, but this actually looks quite bad. So I have to give it a 4 out of 10. The story, extremely generic and boring, with no environmental or visual storytelling whatsoever. Just NPCs rambling about fighting to get their humanity back. 2 out of 10. Entertainment value. If you want a game you can turn your brain off for and just do random cool things, it's not bad for that. 5 out of 10. And safe to say, I will not be going back to Aragami 2. Although maybe a revisit to the original is in order. Now, once again, we're back at the final rating. I think the game is horrifically average, so I'll lean slightly lower than that and give Aragami 2 a score of 4.5 out of 10. If you liked the video and want to see any future videos in this series, consider subscribing. Thank you, and bye bye.